Marco Polo, born in 1254 in Venice, was no ordinary merchant. While most traders of his time stayed within familiar routes, Marco embarked on a journey that would take him farther than most Europeans could imagine. His father, Niccolo, and uncle, Maffeo, had already ventured east to the court of Kublai Khan, the Mongol ruler of China. Upon their return, they shared tales of wealth, vast empires, and opportunities, sparking Marco's curiosity. At just 17 years old, he joined them on an expedition that would last over 2 decades. Their journey was far from easy. Leaving Venice in 1271, they traveled across the Mediterranean and into the Middle East, braving the harsh deserts of Persia and the snow-capped mountains of the Pamirs. The Silk Road, their main route, was fraught with dangers, bandits, extreme weather, and treacherous terrain. Yet, Marco was undeterred. Along the way, he absorbed languages, observed cultures, and documented the wonders he encountered, from intricate bazaars to advanced irrigation systems. By the time they reached Kublai Khan's court, Marco had transformed from a curious youth into a seasoned traveler. Kublai Khan, ruler of the vast Mongol Empire, was fascinated by the Polos, but it was Marco who truly captured his attention. His intelligence, adaptability, and enthusiasm earned him a place in the emperor's court. Over the next 17 years, Marco traveled extensively across China and beyond, often on missions for the Khan. He explored cities like Hangzhou, described as one of the wealthiest and most advanced cities in the world, with bustling markets, canals, and technologies that far surpassed anything in Europe at the time. Marco marveled at innovations like paper money, an efficient postal system, and monumental architecture. He also traveled to remote regions, witnessing landscapes and cultures that few Europeans had ever seen. His journeys took him as far as Southeast Asia, possibly even to India. He described golden palaces, powerful armies, and societies with intricate systems of governance and trade. For Marco, these experiences were nothing short of transformative. After years of service, Marco and his family decided to return to Venice. Their journey home was just as perilous as their journey east. They traveled by sea and land, navigating through dangerous territories and enduring hardships. When they finally returned to Venice in 1295, they were nearly unrecognizable. Their attire and manners, shaped by years in Asia, set them apart. Their tales of wealth and exotic lands astonished Venetians, though many doubted their truth. A few years later, during a war between Venice and Genoa, Marco was captured and imprisoned. It was in prison that he dictated his adventures to a fellow inmate, Rustichello de Pisa. Together, they created the Travels of Marco Polo, a book that would captivate Europe. Marco's descriptions of the East, filled with riches, advanced civilizations, and unfamiliar customs, opened the eyes of Europeans to a world they barely knew existed. While some skeptics dismissed his tales as exaggerations, the Travels of Marco Polo became one of the most popular books of its time. It inspired countless explorers, including Christopher Columbus, who reportedly carried a copy on his voyage to the Americas. Marco's stories painted a picture of a world far larger and more connected than most Europeans had imagined. Marco Polo passed away in 1324, leaving behind a legacy of exploration and curiosity. His journey wasn't just about discovering new lands, it was about bridging cultures and expanding horizons. Whether every detail of his stories was true or not, his accounts inspired generations to look beyond the known and seek the wonders of the world.